What a night of football it was when Inter Miami clashed with the Seattle Sounders and walked away with a brilliant 3-1 victory that felt bigger than just a scoreline. This game had everything: passion, drama, skill, and those emotional moments that remind us why we love this sport so much. It wasn't just about 90 minutes of football, it was about pride, about growth, and about the statement Inter Miami are trying to make in Major League Soccer, showing that they are not just a club built around hype but a club built around winning. The stadium was buzzing before kickoff, packed with fans waving pink and black scarves, hoping to witness their team shine, while the Sounders fans who traveled all the way from Seattle were ready to back their side that has been one of the most consistent in MLS history. The narrative was simple but powerful. Would Miami prove themselves against one of the league's giants, or would the Sounders flex their experience and tactical brilliance to quiet the noise? The first half began with intensity, with Seattle immediately pressing high and trying to control possession, but it was Inter Miami who struck first, sending the crowd into absolute chaos. It was none other than Lionel Messi who orchestrated the move, drifting into midfield, drawing defenders in, and then slicing open the Seattle backline with a perfectly timed through ball. The pass fell to Leonardo Campana, who made no mistake and slotted it past the keeper, putting Miami up 1-0. The roar inside the stadium felt like a wave crashing down on the Sounders, and from that moment, Miami gained confidence. Every touch from Messi was met with anticipation, every dribble from Jordi Alba down the flank felt dangerous, and you could feel the energy building with each passing minute. Miami were playing with swagger, with that sense of belief that only comes when you have world-class players who elevate everyone around them. But Seattle are not pushovers, and they proved why they are one of MLS's most decorated teams. They regrouped, adjusted their shape, and started to find space down the wings. Jordan Morris and Nicolás Lodero worked tirelessly to break down Miami's defense, and just before halftime, their persistence paid off. A cross from the right side caused chaos in the Miami box, and Raul Ruidíaz, the poacher he is, pounced on the loose ball and smashed it into the net. Suddenly it was 1-1, and the Sounders players celebrated passionately, reminding Miami that this was not going to be easy. That equalizer carried an emotional punch. Seattle's away fans erupted, Miami's home crowd fell silent for a moment, and the balance of the game shifted. At half-time, the scoreline told a story of balance, one goal each, and both sides knowing the next 45 minutes would define the night. When the second half began, Inter Miami came out with fire in their eyes. You could see Messi rallying his teammates, pointing, directing, almost demanding that they raise their game. And they did. The tempo was quicker, the pressing sharper, and the crowd rose again to push them forward. In the 58th minute, Messi once again took center stage, but this time he finished it himself. Picking up the ball just outside the box, he danced past one defender, shifted onto his left foot, and curled the ball into the top corner in classic Messi style. The stadium exploded. Fans were jumping, hugging, some even in tears. That goal wasn't just about going 2-1 up, it was about witnessing greatness, about being in the presence of a player who has defined football for over 2 decades. The Sounders defenders could only shake their heads. They knew that when Messi is in that mood, there's almost nothing you can do. Seattle tried to respond, pushing bodies forward, and there were moments where it looked like they could sneak back into the game. Lodero nearly curled in a free kick, and Ruidíaz forced a save from Drake Callender, who was outstanding in goal for Miami. But the Sounders' energy began to fade, while Miami's confidence only grew. The killer blow came in the 77th minute when Sergio Busquets, with his trademark composure, intercepted a pass in midfield and launched a counter-attack. Messi was again involved, combining with Campana, who slipped in Robert Taylor. Taylor, who has quietly become one of Miami's most consistent performers, finished clinically, driving the ball low into the net to make it 3-1. At that moment, the match was sealed. Miami fans were dancing, waving flags, and chanting Messi's name, while the Sounders looked deflated, knowing their chances of a comeback were gone. The final whistle blew, and the scoreline read Inter Miami 3, Seattle Sounders 1. It was more than a victory, it was a statement to the league, a declaration that Inter Miami with Messi, Busquets, Alba, and a growing supporting cast are serious contenders. For the Sounders, it was a reminder that even the strongest teams can be undone by brilliance, but also a chance to reflect and regroup. The emotions at the end of the game were telling. Messi hugged his teammates with a smile, Campana pumped his fist toward the fans, and Callender soaked in the applause after some crucial saves. On the other side, Ruidíaz looked frustrated, Morris walked off with his head down, and the Sounders coaching staff knew they had lessons to learn from this defeat. This game was a microcosm of what makes football beautiful. The moments of magic, the back-and-forth drama, the emotional rollercoaster that fans experience, the pride of one city clashing with the pride of another. For Miami, this win was about belief, about proving that they belong at the top table of MLS, not just as entertainers but as winners. For Seattle, it was a setback, but also a reminder of the competitive spirit that fuels them, and you can be sure they'll come back stronger. Football isn't just about the goals, it's about the stories they create, and this match gave us a story of ambition versus tradition, stardom versus experience, and ultimately, a night that belonged to Inter Miami. Let's take a quick look at the scorecard and the key highlights one more time. Inter Miami opened the scoring through Leonardo Campana after Messi's magical assist in the first half. Seattle equalized just before half-time through Raul Ruidíaz, showing their resilience. Messi then scored a stunning solo goal in the second half to restore Miami's lead, and Robert Taylor sealed the win with a composed finish late on. Final score, Inter Miami 3, Seattle Sounders 1. The stats back up the drama too. Miami had 57% possession, 9 shots on target, and played with a confidence that grew as the game progressed, while Seattle managed 6 shots on target but couldn't find the cutting edge after their equalizer. The man of the match? It had to be Messi, not just for his goal and assist, but for the way he lifted the entire team and gave fans a performance to remember. And so, Inter Miami continue to rise, building not just a team but a culture, while Seattle will regroup and fight on, as they always do. For the fans, whether in Miami or Seattle, this was a game to remember, one of those nights that you'll tell stories about in years to come. Because that's what football is all about. It's about those emotional highs and lows, the moments of magic, and the way this game connects us all.